Hey guys, welcome back to some Skywars on the JSP channel. Today we are going to be doing something a little different, as you can tell by the title. We're going to be doing a bit of story time, which I think is going to be pretty fun. So we're just playing Skywars on the Hive, and this is the bedrock version. So we're going to be playing solos for a bit, just to get a feel for the game. And when I mean story time, I mean I'm going to talk to you guys about my retail experience. So, I live in a smaller town with some smaller type stores, and there's this one drugstore in my town that I work at, and I work there as a living, and I don't make too much, but it's enough to keep me happy. And you know, when you tend to work in a place where like customers come, there tends to be a lot of people that get triggered, as some would say. Now, I think it's completely fine to have a bad day, but I don't think it's that cool when you display that bad day onto other people just because they happen to be checking you out, which is what I do. And so now, I'm gonna get this straight with you guys first, is I don't usually talk too much about people behind their backs, but I thought these were just a couple of funny stories, and obviously I won't use their real names or anything, so let's get right into it. So one of my favorite customers of all time was this one lady. She came in, she was coming to do her checkout or whatever, and lo and behold, she had forgot her entire wallet. Yes, I know. Sounds a bit crazy that you can forget such things when you're going in a store and go around the entire store without forgetting. And I know it does happen to some people. Oh, that guy just... Okay. And I know it does happen to some people, but, like, you gotta know, like, she was a bit flustered already to begin with, and I did feel for her. So, what she said was, I'll be right back. I have to go to my car for a bit, and we can see... Oh, okay. And okay, well, I died. And then she's like, we'll see what we can do. She went back to her car to go grab her credit card or whatever. So anyways, I bag all of her things and, you know, throw them in her cart or whatever. And she comes on her way back. And this is a complete Karen, by the way. She's probably a bit above middle age, though, on the older side. So that's what we would call a boomer. But she came back, and all she had in her hand was a check. And the first thing I knew as a cashier is we need your driver's license number if we can accept checks. And I was a bit scared to tell her because I knew like she was not going to take that well. She was probably going to get actually very mad at me. So what ended up happening was she ended up saying like, oh, I don't have my card with me. So, and then she was like, if you don't like check me out right now, I'm going to like leave the store with all my things right here, and you'll have to return them. Which I thought was kind of annoying because like I'd probably be the one having to return them in the end, and it's not that fun to return a lot of items at once. And so what ended up happening was she made me call my manager. And my manager at this point has dealt with this like multiple times, but I guess he just knows exactly how to handle this kind of situation. So what he did was he basically just told her like, oh, there's not much we can do. Do you like have your social security card on you or whatever? And she's like, oh yeah, I just keep my social security card with me everywhere. And she said it really sarcastically, and me and my manager just kind of had a little look at each other like, yeah, she's not in a mood today. So we said, alright, well, you have like a couple of options. You can like either just, you know, deal with it and like come back and get your things later, or you can like you know, just leave. Like, you clearly don't have anything to pay with. We can't just give this stuff to you for free. And so what she ended up doing was she grabbed her check and she just walked straight out. Like, okay, I'm not gonna fight that. She was straight gone. And so basically she just went right out to her car, and we held her things in the cart for a little, but we ended up having to toss them all back in return, which was a very fun trip for me, as you can tell by my monotone voice. This guy is not giving me any leeway though, so oh boy, oh boy. Well, I tried. So that's just one of my mini customers. There's a lot of customers that kind of get on my nerves, but not too many can like actually hit like that sweet spot where you like actually are so annoyed that you actually outright act out. Like there's been like lots of times where I've just been like mildly annoyed with them, and I haven't really gotten like mad. But there's this one lady that just made me completely furious. So I was clearly hard at work, like putting stock out and everything, and she decided that it would be smart to come up to me and ask me where something was. Well, that may seem like obvious for like me to like have people asking, and I don't mind that, but at this particular time, like there was a lot of other employees around me, and I was the only one really like hard at work like at the time, and she decided that she was just gonna choose me. So what she ended up doing was she came up to me and she's like, she was like, do you have any idea where like this so-and-so was, like something that we clearly didn't sell, and I didn't really like know if we did or not at the time because I was pretty new. And so I was like, oh, I don't know where that is, sorry, can you ask someone else? And she's like, young man, you're gonna have to like come and show me where it is, or like direct me to someone else. And so like at that moment, like I realized my hatred for the word young man. I don't know why, but that word makes me mad every time now. It's not really like an insulting term, and I know that, but like she just used it on like such a condescending tone. Like I don't know how to describe it, but it was not a fun experience for me. So what I ended up doing was I walked literally 3 feet in the other direction, pointed down the most vague aisle I could possibly do, and just said, oh, it's somewhere down that way. So she was just like, it's just somewhere down that way, like that's terrible instructions. And then oh, thank God there was one of my other coworkers there, and he just happened to be oh shoot, he just happened to be in the vicinity. Oh well. He just happened to be in the vicinity at the time, so I was like, oh, I'll just direct you over to my coworker over there. His name's Adam, like he can help you. And she just gave me the most disgusted look of all time, and I felt really bad. But at that moment, I was not feeling bad. I was feeling like, okay, well, she's just gonna be like that, so I can't really do much about it. And so that's my second experience. I haven't had very many bad experiences with customers, and I'm sure there's way more to come. But another thing in retail is you always have to be listening, even if you're new. Like you have to know how to follow directions, you have to know how to take orders from your boss, you have to know all that stuff. And so there's this one time so we had pallets in the back that they call us is 4 people, and they have us on the floor go put the pallets out. And so this one time, my assistant manager decided that he was going to have me go put some pallets out. So what he did was he pointed to a bunch of like different items, didn't really pick out too many specific things, but he's just like, all of these need to go out by this time. And so I just went out and I started putting them all out. So halfway through I realized that a couple of the stuff wasn't even assembled, so I went right into the back room and started assembling that stuff. And at the time I had no clue what he was actually asking, because he just kind of like showed me a bunch of pallets and was like, yo, you gotta go assemble this stuff. Or he didn't even tell me to assemble, he was just like, it's just gotta all go out. And so I assumed that this thing that needed to be assembled was one of the things. And so I ended up assembling this entire hose thing, which is still out in the store to this date. And I remember I just remembered like being like completely oblivious to like what he actually wanted. I was just completely confused, so I ended up assembling this entire hose cart in the back with this like 5-inch hose, and it was really tough. It took me about an hour and a half. I had no clue what I was doing. I had no clue that I wasn't even supposed to be doing that, and so I was just chilling there, like building this hose, and he goes, "Oh, did the manager tell you to like build that hose?" And I just looked straight at him like, "You were the one," but I didn't say it out loud because like I'd already gotten halfway through that hose, like it needed to be built. There was no way I was gonna just say no one told me and then just walk away, because mama didn't raise a quitter. So what I did was I was like, "Yes, Spencer told me," or my manager. I was like, "Yes, my manager told me," and he was like, "Oh, okay." Like, even I haven't, like, assembled one of those before, and at this point, I am freaking out. Like, I am not supposed to be touching this stuff. I should not even be near it. Why am I here? Oh, why? And so, I ended up finishing the entire thing, and then right after that, I got a break. I just went right home. I was not gonna do anything else there. I had done my duty for that day. I ended up not getting in trouble at all, and it ended up being assembled fine, I'm pretty sure, because it's still in the store today. Oh shoot. Oh, there's another guy here. Brilliant. Please let me go. Okay, so they're fighting down there. Cool. Alright, so yeah. In the end, it wasn't all that bad, and I ended up having a laugh over it with another of my managers who works on the floor, and we talked about it for a bit. We're like, "Oh, that's pretty funny that you completely just built something without even knowing you're supposed to." And so in the end, it ended up being a great time. I do not regret building it at all, and it was a pretty good time waster, as some would say. As those things do tend to happen to these. Just more time spent. Okay, there we go. More time spent in work, which is basically what you're trying to do is in work, is you always got to be looking for something to do, otherwise you're just gonna get bored, and it isn't as enjoyable when you're bored. I'll be completely frank. And so yeah, that's my tale about how I accidentally built a whole entire hose without even being told to do it. There's a lot of other stuff that has happened at my work. Lots of people that decide it's smart to do things when they do it, it's just not. And as like when you have experience in this kind of stuff, and you're like, well, that just looks really stupid, and then you just kind of like stare blankly at the customer, like straight in their face, and you're like, why would you do that? It is kind of frustrating sometimes, and I do feel for all those cashiers out there that have to deal with those customers. The worst is at my particular drugstore, is we have this garden shop thing, and whenever the garden shop closes outside, or like closes early on like certain days, all the people from that go and shop out there just decide that it's smart to bring their flowers inside and pay for them there. And I'm like, why? Why would you do such things? Why would you make our lives so much harder just because of that? And they just do it anyways because they just don't care. Oh. So yeah, that's my experience with all that. Hopefully this guy doesn't do knockback for days. Oh, I almost survived. So anyways. Oh, we got second place. Oh, that's sad. You get a lot of hearts though. There's only one chance. And so yeah, that is my experience in retail. Lots of stuff happens in retail, and if you do end up like deciding to get a job in retail, like it's not all that bad. Like just try it out, honestly. Working there is not even that hard. it's just it's kind of a fun time, and you get to interact with people. So if you're an outgoing guy, like, it's pretty fun just to, guy or girl, just outgoing, to just interact with people at like checkout or whatever. And it's also really fun just to get a feel for what it's like to work there, and it can help you out with later jobs. So that's it. That's me signing off. Thanks for listening. If you made it this far, make sure to like and subscribe. I would play my channel outro, but I don't have one. Well, thank you anyways, and we'll see you guys all in a bit.